divergent. When me say solid look where you are experience everything when me a think about, hey. But nobody feel no way if you are the blue pen there over there so where you ink out. But when me tell you some black people them fascinate me.
And agreeable people get paid less than less agreeable people for the same job. Women are more agreeable than men.
Again, a vast generalization. Some women are not more agreeable than men.
Yes, that's true, but that's right. And some women get paid more than men.
So you're saying that by and large, women are too agreeable to get the pay rises they deserve?
No, I'm saying that that's one component of a multivariate equation that predicts salary. It accounts for maybe 5% of the variance, something like that.
So surely
we
the
need about another 18 factors, one of which is gender. And there is prejudice, there's no doubt about that, but it accounts for a much smaller proportion of the variance in the pay gap than the radical feminists claim.
Okay, so rather than denying the pay gap exists, which is what you did at the beginning of this conversation, shouldn't you say to women, rather than being agreeable and not asking for a pay rise,
A man never say it not agree, it age no exists. A man never say that. A man never say
essentially she just infer everything because
man never say
all
it
the man
exists.
tell us say, oh, me nah say nothing what you say, me just regurgitate the statistics. So then she just can't stand the thing say man mean something by saying when man say man say the wage gap where you defend the 9%, it is based on a lot of stuff. And you can't just call out 9% because a male and female them are compare and contrast.
Yeah, but
what if other things that if you compare and contrast as well?
But she say you did say it not exist and the man never say it not exist.
Yeah, because man point out statistics, the man say.
But man say I not just sex.
The man say agreeableness depend on the spectrum too. We check that. A woman more agreeable than a man, so them alright to accept a pay where one man wouldn't accept.
Right, so I never say wage gap not exist. Man
Exactly.
say it exists.
Man
It's
say
just
it
that
exists,
it is
but
not.
it's not a male and female thing.
Exists,
It's
yes,
a
but alright.
circumstances and different factors why it stay where it stay.
Alright.
The radical feminists claim.
okay, so rather than denying the pay gap exists, which is what you did at the beginning of this conversation, shouldn't you say to women, rather than being agreeable and not asking for a pay rise, go and ask for a pay rise? Make yourself disagreeable with your boss.
Oh, definitely, there's that. But I also didn't deny it existed. I denied it existed because of gender.
Okay.
See, because I'm very, very, very careful with my words.
So the pay gap exists, you accept that, but you're saying, the pay gap between men and
Cathy, you can't trick him man, that me tell you. Right now, if you did feel like say, you could have come read off your question and try to tie up a man.
She knows say man now we're not tired. This is not even business.
Man say
This is casual.
man say I'm very, very, very actually very doggone careful with the words, so that means say yo man I listen to what you say and the man delineate the right words. If you say you like him man make sure you say the right thing he must say.
Because of gender.
Okay.
See, because I'm very, very, very careful with my words.
So the pay gap exists,
yeah,
you accept that, but you're saying, the pay gap between men and women exists, but you're saying it's not because of gender, it's because women are too agreeable to ask for pay rises. So
It's one of the reasons.
Okay, one of the reasons. So why not get them to ask for a pay rise?
I've
Wouldn't
done
be
that,
a fairer
I've
way
done
of
that
proceeding?
many times in my career.
And they
I've
just don't.
counseled. Oh, they do it all the time. So one of the things that you do as a clinical psychologist is assertiveness training. So you might say, often you treat people for anxiety, you treat them for depression, and maybe the next most common category after that would be assertiveness training. And so I've had many women, extraordinarily competent women in my clinical and consulting practice.
So pretty much you must say, in get clientels and the clientels them we normally get is either I treat them for depression, anxiety, or assertiveness training. Them no assertive. You see me I say? So them say yo Obama, them like that are one of the top 3 things them.
We put together strategies for their career development that involve continual pushing, competing, for higher wages and often tripled their wages within a 5-year period, teaching
you
them how to
celebrate that?
negotiate.
And
Of course.
Why
So,
wouldn't you? Why wouldn't
Do
you?
you agree that you would be happy?
But may I say, she asked if a man celebrate that. Why a man wouldn't celebrate that? You don't feel like an accomplishment that?
She just asking her, then why you don't make the female them do that then? And the man said, but me do it. Bro, me not do it. I know what she gonna say. Why she gonna say? Come on, I say, yeah, me do it, me say run
Strategies for the career development that involve continual pushing, competing for higher wages, and often tripled their wages within a 5-year period, teaching
you
them how to
celebrate that?
negotiate. Of course.
So,
Of
do
course.
you agree that you would be happy if that pay gap was eliminated completely?
It
Because
would
that's
depend.
all the radical feminists are saying.
It would depend on how it was eradicated and how the disappearance of it was measured.
And you're saying if
You
it's at
can't-
the
you
cost
can't-
of men, that's a problem.
Oh, there's all sorts of things that it could be at the cost of. It could even be.
Yo, I laugh off her because man realize what she did on, you know. Him realize what she did on. Him realize say,
She come back to him.
yeah. And man realize that, man laugh, man. I say, yo, alright, so you stay. Be in a easy, you know. Cathy in a easy, you know.
Be at the cost of women's own interests. So,
Because they might not be happy if they get equal pay.
no, because it might interfere with other things that are causing the pay gap that women are choosing to do.
Like having
Well,
children.
Well, or choosing careers that actually happen to be paid less, which women do a lot of.
Yo, it's like she had tried for program the man I said no, and that man said be. It's what I say. And she said like have children, the man said no. Or them just a choose
Job
when not paying much money, you see me? Then
That's all the man been a tell her say you need to stop with them generalization that we are make, because every time you are going to come with a generalization, I will just show you say other statistics exist.
and fair thing is like, you know, when you look for like the major things them. Yeah, fair things.
It doesn't matter if a fair one and even the major one, the most controversial.
That's what I say.
Yeah, true,
It's not the
something.
major thing she's talking about. She look for the most controversial thing, most controversial factor, and talk about it. And you know, say from sex involved, coupled with pay,
money.
bro, it all gonna get talk about.
But why shouldn't women have the right to choose not to have children or the right to choose those demanding
They
careers?
do. Could even be at the cost of women's own interests. So,
Because they might not be happy if they get equal pay.
no, because it might interfere with other things that are causing the pay gap that women are choosing to
Like
do.
having children.
Well, or choosing careers that actually happen to be paid less, which women do a lot of.
But why shouldn't women have the right to choose not to have children or the right to choose those demanding careers?
They do. They can. Yeah, that's fine.
But you're saying that makes them unhappy, by and large.
Man never
I'm
said
saying that. No, I'm not saying that. I actually haven't said that so far.
that. Man never said that. Not, you ever hear man say that all now?
Brother, she had tried this year.
Yo,
Nah,
I
bro.
know the man not say that. See, man, I tell you, me I listen.
Can. Yeah, that's fine.
But you're saying that makes them unhappy, by and large.
I'm saying that. No, I'm not saying that. I actually haven't said that so far. in
You're
the
saying it
program.
makes them miserable.
Make him
No, I
At the
said that
beginning.
what was making them miserable was having weak partners. That makes them miserable.
Right.
I would say that many women around the age of, I would say between 28 and 32, have a career family crisis that they have to deal with. And I think that's partly because of the foreshortened time frame that women have to contend with. Like, women have to get the major pieces of their life put together faster than men, which is also partly why men aren't under so much pressure to grow up. So because for the typical woman, she has to have her career and family in order pretty much by the time she's 35, because otherwise the options start to run out. And so that puts a tremendous amount of stress on women, especially at the end of their 20s.
I think I take issue with the idea of the typical woman because, you know, all women are different. And that's what I want to just put another quote to you from the book.
Well, they're
Say,
different in some ways and the same in
Yeah, different, yes, but similar in enough ways.
Yo, she should just name generalization and done. That's all she been a doing, you know? Like her favorite word, all.
Yeah, but you think she easy? Yo, you see she come on this interview yeah with like
She a try con, a chess she a try play, but
Yeah.
it not work.
she a try corner him. That she a try for do and it just not work.
Especially at the end of their 20s.
I'm going to take issue with the idea of the typical woman because, you know, all women are different. And that's what I want to just put another quote to you from the book.
Well,
You
they're
say,
different in some ways and the same in others.
okay, you say women become more vulnerable when they have children.
Oh,
and
yes.
you talked in one of your YouTube interviews about crazy harpy sisters. So, simple question. Is gender equality a myth in your view? Is that something that's just never going to happen?
It depends on what you mean by equality. You know,
Being
if you
treated
mean
fairly,
men and women,
getting the same opportunities.
Me think
fairly, we could get to a point where people were treated fairly or more fairly. I mean, people are treated pretty fairly in Western culture already, but we can.
Well, they're
improve
really
that.
not, though, are they? I mean, otherwise, why would there only be 7 women running FTSE 100 companies in the UK? Why would there still be a pay gap, which we've
Oh, well,
discussed
that's
at
easy.
length?
That's easy to
Why are
answer
women
that
at the
question.
BBC saying that they're getting paid illegally less than men to do the same job?
Well,
That's not fair,
Well,
is
let's
it?
go to the first question. Those are complicated questions. Seven women. Repeat that one. There's
7 women running the top FTSE 100 companies in the UK.
Okay, well, the
I mean,
first
that's not
question
fair.
might be, why would you want to do that?
Why would a man want to do it? I mean,
Well,
it's a lot of money, it's an interesting
there's a
job,
certain
you know?
number of men, although not that many, who are perfectly willing to sacrifice virtually all of their life to the pursuit of a high-end career. So they'll work. These are men that are very intelligent. They're usually very, very conscientious. They're very driven. They're very high energy. They're very healthy. And they're willing to work 70 or 80 hours a week, nonstop, specialized at one thing to get to the top.
So you're saying women are just more sensible. They don't want that because it's not a nice life.
I'm saying that's part of it, definitely. And so I work
So
for...
you don't think they're a bad...
I'm not sensible. I think I'm sensible. I just that them no want to do whatever it takes to get
The reward.
the reward. They want to do minimal.
Because that me that go ask earlier, you know, if we are be honest, who is a rich, a man or a woman? Because a woman can there yard sit down for 20 years and just walk go to do and find one man and know how to find things up here. And you just immediately get rich.
Right. While the man have to work.
He must work
He have to work, fee man, bill, fee him 40. See what I say? He have to put in the work there. That's why most of the time, men, like, find them peak, like, when them older. Because them have to work until them reach that level there. You see what I say? Yeah. That's why man where in them age them would say, yo, no bother to try see if you can focus on no woman, bro. Build yourself, get your money up. Yeah man, build yourself. And go and do your thing. Cause female are go forward. Believe. Other than the one where you did like.
Here or 80 hours a week, nonstop, specialized at one thing to get to the top.
So you're saying women are just more sensible. They don't want that because it's not a nice life.
I'm saying that's part of it, definitely. And so I work
So
for...
you don't think there are barriers in their way that prevent them getting to the top?
Oh,
of
there are
those
some
companies?
barriers, yeah, like men, for example. I mean, to get to the top of any organization is an incredibly competitive enterprise. And the men that you're competing with are simply not going to roll over and say, please take the position.
So let me
It's
come back to my
absolute
question.
all-out warfare.
Is gender equality a myth?
Man, not answer your
I
question.
don't know what you mean by the question. Men and women aren't the same, and they won't be the same. That doesn't mean they can't be treated fairly.
Is gender equality desirable?
If it means equality of outcome, then almost certainly it's undesirable. That's already been demonstrated in Scandinavia. Because in
What do you mean
Scandinavia,
by that? Equality of outcome is undesirable.
well, men and women won't sort themselves into the same categories if you leave them alone to do it of their own accord. We've already seen that in Scandinavia. It's 20 to 1 female nurses to male, something like that. It might not be quite that extreme. And approximately the same male engineers to female engineers. And that's a consequence of the free choice of men and women in this.
So pretty much if you allow people to choose where them want, them pretty much now gotta choose the same thing. Them want choose, especially if them want choose logically. Them all choose things where them know say
better suited to them.
right. And it's not that difficult. Cause enough people not choose some things because them just feel like say it's hard for do. You see what I'm saying? It require a whole heap of time and patience, and me nah go allocate my time and patience for that. It's not that I can't do it, but me just not willing to do the work necessary to get it. And that no female though. You see what I say? It's easy and me get a man where make it already. You see what I say? No, what really happen is why you really have a lot of females where seem independent and whatnot, because most of the time one, because they want to have them own way. Because if me get mine, you can't tell me nothing. You see what I'm saying? That's the primary thing. You see me? So them would have true them no want for nobody to tell them how to operate and what to do, what not to do. You see what I'm saying? Because them a say, alright, me independent, my own person. You see me? Why me need one man to tell me and give me directive?
But you
and all
can
these
provide
things.
for yourself. Nobody can tell you for do.
Exactly. That's what I say. But at the same time, want a man, and if the man below her, she try to control him and then it don't work. And then if the man is above her, because she have her own, she still don't want to take no talk from that man. You see me? Yeah, and then you just have a problem.
Societies that have gone farther than any other societies to make those are ineradicable differences. You can eradicate them with tremendous social pressure. Because in
What do you mean
Scandinavia,
by that? Equality of outcome is undesirable.
well, men and women won't sort themselves into the same categories if you leave them alone to do it off their own accord. I've already seen that in Scandinavia. It's 20 to 1 female nurses to male, something like that. It might not be quite that extreme, and approximately the same male engineers to female engineers. And that's a consequence of the free choice of men and women in the societies that have gone farther than any other societies to make gender equality the purpose of the law. Those are ineradicable differences. You can eradicate them with tremendous social pressure and tyranny, but if you leave men and women to make their own choices, you will not get equal outcome.
Right, so you're saying that anyone who believes in equality, whether you call them feminists, call them whatever you want to call them, should basically give up because it ain't going to happen.
Only if they're aiming at equality of outcome.
So you're saying give people equality of opportunity, that's fine.
It's not only fine, it's eminently desirable for everyone, for individuals and for society.
But still women aren't going to make it. That's what you're really
It
saying.
depends on your measurement techniques. They're doing just fine in medicine. In fact, there are far more female physicians than there are male physicians. There are lots of disciplines that are absolutely dominated by women. Many disciplines, and they're doing great. So
Let me put something else to you from the book. You say the introduction of the equal pay for equal work argument immediately complicates even salary comparison beyond practicality for one simple reason. Who decides what work is equal? It's not possible. So the simple question is, do you believe in equal pay?
Look how long now man answer that the question there.
well, I made the argument there. It's like it depends on
So
who
you don't
defines
believe
it.
in equal pay?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Because a lot of people listening to you will just say, I mean, are we going back to the
That's
dark
because
ages
they're actually
here?
not listening.
Nah, listen.
They're
I'm
just
listening very
projecting
carefully,
what
and
they
I'm
think.
hearing you basically say,
Anybody listen to this interview thus far and derive that from him, never did I listen a blow up.
Then more if you listen to she.
And it's hard for not listen to she, you know.
Gosh.
Yeah,
Why?
Cathy, I every minute. So are you saying, be that she kill you with, you know? So are you saying, man nah say that, man never did that say that.
I feel like she keep it on your side. No matter what you say. She can say, are you saying? And say what she say.
Cathy would have stopped in your tracks long time.
Get
saying women need to just
want-
accept. They're never saying that at all.
She more if you want make the man get angry more than if you try debate.
Maybe that she a try though.
But you see, this come back to what man I said earlier. Man I say man who excel in them field and they're the top 1% are people who sacrifice everything to ensure so them do what is necessary to become the top in the field. So in a journalism, you would need for you to do proper investigation and remain unbiased and bring a generally great argument to keep the debate going well. But so far, all you do is try get the man to say what you want to say, which is not a debate. You just basically try influence the man to say what you want to say. And the man now say that because the man write a book. Well, literally I tell you, say, me never believe in what you tell me to say right now. But Cathy I know what she do. I know what she do. And Jordan Peterson, out of everybody, him know exactly what she do.
Exactly what she
So, that's why it now work.
That's why I'm answer a question them correct.
Yeah, man say very, very, very
Careful with
When I
my words.
peak.
Because a lot of people listening to you will just say, I mean, are we going back to the
That's
car
because you're
tables
actually
bit?
not listening.
I'm
You're just
listening very
projecting
carefully,
what
and
they
I'm
think.
hearing you basically saying women need to just accept they're never going to make it on equal terms, equal outcomes is how you defined it.
No, I
If
didn't
I
say
was
that.
a
I
young
said that
woman
equal-
watching that, I would go, well, I might as well just go and play with my Cindy dolls and
I
give up
didn't say
trying
that.
at school because I'm not going to get the top job I want. Because there's someone sitting there saying it's not possible,
I
and it's
said
not
that
desirable, it's
equal
going to make
outcomes
you
aren't
miserable.
desirable. That's what I said. It's a
Yeah,
bad
it's not
social
desirable.
goal. I didn't say that women shouldn't be striving for the top or anything like that, because I don't believe that for a second.
Striving for the top, but you're going to put all those hurdles in their way, as has been in their way for centuries, and that's fine. You're saying that's fine.
No, I really
The
think
patriarchal
I really
system is
think
just
that's
fine.
silly. I do. I think that's silly. I really do.
All right.
I mean, look at your situation. You're hardly on.
You see what she not get the general argument. In order for a man be the top in the field, the man has sacrificed family, the man has sacrificed all of them things that would make him be the ideal person to him wife. He must sacrifice it to be the top in the field because of that it mean to him to be the top in the field. So if you want to be at the top of the field, you cannot try be the top of the field and still want to have your family and still want to have good life and still want
You
to
have to make
travel.
some
And
sacrifices.
you have to sacrifice
You have to make
something
sacrifice.
and demand the top 1% because he must sacrifice everything for reach where he to go. But they don't want to hear that argument. They want it to be a case where if they try a little bit,
It works.
it works. And so
Right,
life go.
right.
Life no set like that.
Right. It don't work like that. That's why I said they want to do the bare minimum
Exactly. And get maximum
and
yield.
still get every single thing that it has to offer.
Yeah, you can't.
And it don't work like that. You pretty much have your cake and eat it.
Yeah. You specialize, and if you specialize, that means that you're supposed to do one thing more than every other.
That's why them would say you have some female where a little bit more masculine because them a compete with a man. So that's why when time if a man they would want, like, let's say him they would want educated woman, him pretty much they would want masculine, one female where have whole heap of masculine traits. So I'm going always in an argument with that female there, especially if she not forward from one of them traditional home there, where I say you have to be submissive and she have to go have like a religion in her too. She have to go be a little bit pious. You see what I say? Yeah, if you confirm, and even then, I can tell you, most females, like, them tell you say, oh, me I go be submissive, but when them don't tell you to who them are submissive to, oh, if he's this, if he's that, if he's this, if he's that, a whole heap of criteria, you know, for him, for she be submissive in all when a man, and guess what, go on? A man will not have one of the many criteria that she talk about, and she use that for not be submissive. You see me? Yeah. Them just, but it align with Genesis 3 verse 16, you know. Yeah, me can't forget that. Read it. Genesis chapter 3 verse 16. It's a rotted verse enough people overlook. I read it. You gonna see.
Bible come with up your amount of features Bible come with now.
What if I pop up? No.
Brother, like,
Genesis 3, verse 16.
unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception.
And what?
In
Continue.
Okay. What is it? Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband.
And I what?
Thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
The desire shall be what?
To thy husband,
And what?
and he shall rule over thee.
Rule over thee. Which one you say they want one man rule over them?
The matter is they want a man to rule over them. As you said earlier, the matter is they want a man to rule over them. And then give one long hell of a list where you know when you go on Amazon and you say, more one phone we have this, that, this, that, this. You see more things you choose, less likely to be if you find a phone. So then can always
Are
have
it
one.
probably expensive?
No, you're not finding me try all a while. Because first thing you do, you look for the best in every quality,
Yeah.
And that not exist.
Alright, but that's what I say. But then, the more things you require, the more you have to go give. Because especially if that's somebody there, a priest say, hey, me rare, wipe on a rare. Me unique. You know what I mean? Me have some level of uniqueness to me. And me not easy to find. Me high value. Someone say alpha, me say sigma. And you have to go give some things and you don't want to give nothing. But you still want the top of the line personally. Anyways.
As has been in their way for centuries, and that's fine. You're saying that's fine.
No, I think I really
The
think
patriarchal
that's,
system
I really
is
think
just
that's
fine.
silly. I do. I think that's silly. I really do. I mean, look at your situation. You're hardly unsuccessful.
Yeah, and I have
How do you
battled quite
manage?
hard to get where I've got
Exactly.
to.
And that's
Good
what I
for
That's
say.
you.
okay. Battling is good.
She says she have to battle hard feet. Then that the man say, the man say all along, in order for you to be in a freaking position, reaping the benefits that you would actually want, you have to battle for that position. You have to fight feet. And you just said it yourself. Yeah, me did have to battle feet. And the man say exactly. I say go, you have to do that.
Because when she alright, appearance versus reality. The world where she want things to be, that's not the reality. And the man just bring the statistics and the information to show you what reality is. And you're still there in the realm of dreams. You dream of this ideal world where everybody do little bit
Yeah,
and
nah,
then
for
get
the
mad.
much.
It not go work.
No, only because,
Ultimately, the argument is, hurdles exist.
bro,
And whosoever got the front have to pass the most hurdle.
bro.
You have to pass the hurdle, brother.
She want to achieve only because she's interested in. And because me interested in it, and me a forward in a race, it don't matter. How can you not pick me? You see me I say, and from you pick one man, you go say, oh, agenda thing. You see me? So you can't, it says pretty much I say, like, you know need for do the amount of work necessary to beat a competitor and to still reap
So
that not
ultimately,
exists.
the conditions remain the same, but the outcome to change.
Yeah.
So, one woman will have her menstrual cycle, which is not her fault. You're gonna have a menstrual cycle, and in that week, you can't honestly say you perform like the other weeks. So by default, you have a week where, compared to your other 3 weeks, you're unproductive.
Right.
We not say you not do your result, we not say you not get results, we not say none of that. But if you compare that week to the other weeks, you work under higher stress.
Zine?
Or if she pregnant.
Exactly.
And you can't come and work. You dip on maternity leave and everything there. You see me? So you already give less time. If you still reap the benefit, bro, that don't exist.
I think that's silly. I really do. I mean, look at your situation. You're hardly unsuccessful.
Yeah, and I have
How'd you
battled quite
manage?
hard to get where I've got
Exactly.
to.
Good
So that's
for you.
okay. Battling is good. This is all
It's
about the fight.
inevitable.
But you talk about men fighting. I mean, let me just put another thing to you from the book.
Why
You're
wouldn't
saying
you have to
real.
battle for a high quality position?
Yeah, why wouldn't
Well, I noticed in your book you talk about real conversations between men containing, quote, an underlying threat of physicality.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
What about real conversations between women? Is that something, or are we sort of too amenable and reasonable?
No, it's just that the domain of physical conflict is sort of off limits for you.
Well, you
It's
just said
rather
that I've
unfortunate.
fought to get where I've got.
Yeah, but
What does that make me?
Well, I
a
don't
proxy
imagine.
man or
I
something?
don't imagine that you've. Yeah, to some degree, I suspect you're not very agreeable.
So that's the thing. Successful.
So a man I say physicality in our workplace is highly possible between two male. You see me? But that not gonna really exist between two female. It highly unlikely for two female enter in a physical confrontation with them one another. You see what I'm saying? And him right. You're more inclined for two man fight in a workplace because of battling, ego. You see what I'm saying? But for female, not gonna happen.
Said that I've fought
Unfortunate.
to get where I've got.
Yeah, but
What does that make me?
Well,
a
I don't
proxy
imagine.
man or
I
something?
don't imagine that you've. Yeah, to some degree, I suspect you're not very agreeable.
So that's the thing. Successful women. I'm not very agreeable.
Right?
But
I've noticed that
successful-
actually in this conversation,
At least
and
we
I'm
have
sure
to
it
go for it.
served your career well.
Successful women, though, basically have to wear the trousers, in your view. They have to sort of become men to succeed.
Saying, like, associate the whole time, brother, you should not agree with the man one time.
Yo, me see everybody say, yo, me need Jordan Peterson. She say, oh, no, sir, probably Peterson Jordan, Me don't feel like Jordan Peterson. She very disagreeable, bro. Yo, she not agree with the man.
And you see, alright, go back to where man is saying the logic behind the man is saying. He more for fight she than anybody else, because I'm like a man now. You want the realm change to physicality. Yeah, that's you basically have to know. Because the man just talk about that, the man say when two female in a for them disagreement, it normally get physical.
Right.
Zine, if the original logic is women are agreeable, the mere fact say when they're in a conflict means that one will behave more masculine than the other. And it never ever be in a physical confrontation unless a two women will feel like them are the man in a them group. So the closer you get towards the point they get physical.
Always the two masculine female them.
Because I'm not asking anything going right now. Yo, I want to him right now. May I tell you, that's what would not happen. She the type of person who will be painting all your face and don't. And then yeah man, you can see.
You know somebody like that.
To succeed. What you're saying.
Well, if they're going
I've had to fight to succeed,
if they're
therefore
going to
I'm an
compete
honorary
against
man.
men, certainly masculine traits are going to be helpful. I mean, one of the things I do in my counseling practice, for example, when I'm consulting with women who are trying to advance their careers, is to teach them how to negotiate and to be able to say no and to not be easily pushed around and to be formidable. And you need to, if you're going to be successful, you need to be smart, conscientious, and tough.
Well, here's a radical idea.
tough.
Why don't the bosses adopt the male bosses, shall we say, adopt some female traits so that women don't have to fight and get their sharp elbows out for the pay?
Yo,
She's
so
just like, why would you not take down the hurdles and make everybody run 100 meters? No, then how you
I
get
tell
the
her, bro, she want to move a goal post, bro.
Exactly.
Forget what she want. You need to move a goal post. Like, carry closer so me can kick the ball at the goal. That she want. She don't want to run go too far.
Participation and what you want right now. Because I try to achieve. And also like
She tell him man say a man for downgrade him qualities so that she can excel. And that she has said, Miss,
No.
take off
It
take
doesn't
off
work.
50 I question them. 100 multiple choice, take off 50. Me see how much me get out of 50. You see what I say?
Alright, she started the exam with 50 and she fi just do the rest and all. And that's a life go.
Lucky, she lucky. Yo, me have a lecturer named Dr. Copeland. Dr. Copeland say everybody start the exam, with 100,
Mm-hmm.
And when you do, we can lose marks, And I say, blow, hear me now. So miss, so if me not forward cut the exam, then
No man is just supposed to get by.
no, you have to come and do it.
That's true, man.
It's a radical idea. Why don't the bosses the male bosses, shall we say, adopt some female traits so that women don't have to fight and get their sharp elbows out for the pay rises? It's just accepted if they're doing the same job, they get the same pay.
Well, I would say partly because it's not so easy to determine what constitutes the same job.
But that's because, arguably,
Yeah.
there are still men dominating our industries, our society, and therefore they've dictated the terms for so long that women have.
Yo, she not have no argument. Yo, her arguments are so weak, bro.
Right now, what time she a buy?
Yo, our
Yeah,
argument
more.
there weak, like 7 days, bro. Weak, me I tell you, like, yo, Cathy.
What she want is participation award. She
It's
just
because,
want to try.
arguably,
Yeah.
there are still men dominating our industries, our society, and therefore they've dictated the terms for so long that women have to battle to be
No,
like the men.
it's not true. It's not true. So, for
Where's the
example,
evidence?
well, I can give you an example very quickly. So I worked with women who worked in high-powered law firms in Canada for about 15 years, and they were as competent and put together as anybody you would ever meet. And we were trying to figure out how to further their careers. And there was a huge debate in Canadian society at that point that was basically ran along the same lines as your argument, is that if the law firms didn't use these masculine criteria, then perhaps women would do better. But the market sets the damn game. It's like,
And the market is dominated by men.
no,
So
it's
what I'm
not. It's
asking-
not. The market is dominated by women. They make 80% of the consumer decisions. That's not the case
What?
at all.
If you're talking
80%.
about people who stay at home looking after children, by and large, they are still women. So they're going out doing the shopping. But that is changing.
They make all
Anyway,
the
what I
consumer
want to ask
decisions.
you. Okay, so
the
what I want
market
to
is
ask you-
driven by
okay.
women, not men.
Fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
but
if
she just
What's the,
agree, but she agree with
What's
him.
the, if one man want, yeah, somebody move like a girl, so bro, you just want.
Joe.
You see me? So, what that would constitute? What is the want? The consumer power. You always want things. You want one bigger TV, one better washing machine, one better. Yeah, we have a man, we have the same friggin' TV for him entire life if it no mash up. One woman not do that, we just get up and no, you know, when I look on the bed and I look on the TV, it just looks small. And you want a bigger TV just because of that. Go near to the TV, like, and that a man would do movie bed and put it near the TV.
Yeah, or you'd buy a big enough TV.
From the start.
And you know, say, alright. No, but you remember there's upgrade,
Yeah.
Yeah, but a man will upgrade
Yeah, but
to a point.
Who exactly?
But one
When
woman
it
will
start
want
make sense, the man
upgrade
stop.
only because it is available. You did it? Some want it.
Right now, if you check out Apple statistics, make sure women are more of a returning customer than male. I'm pretty much sure of that.
Yeah, because them are good.
Because women them a buy everything.
Well-
Women them a buy the case, them a buy the phone.
I
them
mean,
a,
it
them not
varies,
necessarily
it
a
varies.
buy it.
Men are more tech savvy than
We
females
understand the
still.
part there, but Apple are not tech no more. Apple is a brand. And woman love brand.
Yeah, but I still tech.
Brother, nobody do phone.
Yeah.
Because so many case, more people than a buy.
Alright, why you feel like me think Apple
It's a brand more
me
than
know,
anything else.
Me know, but what really they on the phone with them? Really?
The
focus
camera,
on-
nothing
exactly.
else.
Camera. And who really a take picture?
Woman.
Woman. So there you go.
But look, money.
if you would just say I take Samsung camera better, but then still want Apple because of the brand higher than everything else.
Not all.